Okay.
So today we are starting with a very simple concept, and the concept is block diagram of data science. And our purpose is to learn Power BI, or whether our purpose is to learn Power BI, whether our purpose is to learn Tableau, whether our purpose is to learn anything else. In any case, we will see where tools like Power BI, Python, etc. are used if we consider data analysis block diagram. Now let's say this is our world. This blue dot or this blue circle that we are seeing is our world or universe, whatever you want to call it. And in world there are many events going on. Okay, every time there is a event, like someone buys a product in a grocery store is a event. If suddenly fight starts between two different countries, it's an event. In a cricket match also you will see that one team beats another team, some player scores a run, etc. That's an event. So on the basis of those type of events, we have prepared some charts here. For example, here some customers bought some products in USA. Okay, this is for that one event. Here we have Virat Kohli's 100 analysis, like how many runs Virat Kohli is scored whenever Virat Kohli scored a century. So we have some information on that which we are presenting as a dashboard. Okay, we have cricket information like all the test playing nations from 1877 to 2025. So this particular dashboard is showing England versus Australia. How many matches have they played by different formats, matches by year, and so on. Okay. So we have multiple graphs. Like suppose you go to a pathology, you get your test result, and around thousand patients also get those test results. So on the basis of those test results, we prepared a simple dashboard where we can analyze what are the different factors that have affect patients and that affect them in getting diabetes. Okay, and how we can prevent them. It's a toy manufacturing company manufacturing toys, so I think you get that information that in the world events are happening everywhere, and because of these events we get a raw data. Okay, we get a raw data. This raw data is what? This raw data will be without any structure. This raw data will be unstructured. Okay, this raw data will not have any schema, anything. This will be simple unstructured data. So when this data is unstructured, it is of no use for an analyst. So what we do, with the help of data collection, with the help of data processing, with the help of data cleaning, okay, what we do is we change this raw data into a structured data. Okay, structured data. And I will show you some structured data sets also. Now what is this structured data? This structured data has a proper schema. It has a tabular kind of structure. For example, if we see this dashboard and if we go to its data, so here you can see we have a data. In the data we have segment where the product was sold, country where the product was sold, what product was sold, its discount band, unit sold, manufacturing price, and so on. So this is a very simple tabular data. This is structured. So here we can say each row represents one order, and on the basis of each row we have a structure, we have different columns. Similarly, we can see another data. So this is a very simple data set where we have simple sales, like this is order, this is sales amount, this is category. Let's say there is a very small grocery store which is selling products, and that grocery store has stored information of past 2 years, the sales amount that it is getting, right? So this can be our data. So there are many different formats that can be used to store this structured data, and those formats are, it can be a simple Excel file where we can store this structured data. It can be a CSV file. What is a CSV file? A CSV file is called comma separated value. Okay, so it is a comma separated value. For example, let's say in a company there are n number of customers. So if I open it in Notepad, you will see this is the structured data. Here what is happening, all the columns that you can see are in the first row, and all the values are delimited by comma or separated by comma. When you will read this data in a tool like Power BI or Tableau, how is it going to show you? This is going to show you in this tabular way, right? So this CSV file is also a structured data. Another example is JSON. So JSON is called JavaScript Object Notation. Okay, and in JSON, what you can see, I will just show you one example of JSON also. So this is like a JSON file. Here you can see we have not like a JSON file in particular, but how it looks. A JSON file would look something like this. Like there will be these curly braces. Inside these curly braces, information will be written in this format. Like let's say we have information of name and marks of 5 students. So we would like names, and then we would write a square bracket where we would write like Mohan, Sohan, right? Let's say Geeta, John, etc. So let's say these 4 students are there. Then we'll put a comma, and similarly you will write. So this one row represents, this is our one column. If you consider it as an Excel file, this is like one column. Okay, and then you will write marks, and when you will use square bracket, so it will be 56, 78, 89, 98, etc. So 4 students have got these 4 marks. So this way, this is just like a very simple structure of a JSON file, which we will learn in great detail. Okay, so this is one way. Then for example, I'm showing you one more example. This is a tool that is called AMS. Okay, in okay, it shows that we are using it just a, so now you can see this is a MySQL database. In the database we have these many tables. Okay, every table stores some information. For example, we have information of employees, right? So in information of employees you can see first name, last name, title, birth date, hire date, right? If I select products, like this is information of a trading company. So if you will select the database, you will see this is information of a trading company. This trading company is selling these different type of products. So all the product names like chai, chang, any seed syrup, they have stored it in such way, right? If you will go to what category of products are they selling, when you will see, so you will see category ID, category name, description, etc. is given. This is a SQL database. Okay, you can write your queries here. For example, if we want to see a product which has units in stock more than 13, So how you will write select star from products where units in stock is greater than 13. Then you will execute this query. Now you will see that 62 products are there which have units in stock more than 13. We say okay, what if we say products which have stock more than 50? You will analyze that only 24 of them have stocks more than 50. So SQL is also a great tool, and particularly the tool that we are using here is MySQL. Okay, MySQL is a relational database. So it's a relational database management system. Okay, it follows this and also known as RDBMS. Okay, where you can create databases. These databases can be of institutes. These databases can be of, you know, different companies, ERP, or this information can be coming from a CRM. For example, we have developed this transport management system. In this transport management system, you have staff management, client tracking, etc. Right? If you will click on free demo and log in, you can fill demo credentials here. You can log in and you can go to your dashboard. So in a simple ERP like this, or in a simple app like this, let's say you are adding customers, right? So you see that you have web forms, and from these web forms, when you will fill the data, you will be able to see that data, right? Some you can see some people are filling random details here. Similarly, you can create journey and view journey, like from Noida to Nagpur, etc., etc., right? So these are just dummy journey. You can view your staff information, and all of this information will be collectively stored where? In a database. Okay, so which we will learn uh, in detail. So I will introduce you to how to create this database, how to store some information in the database, and then more importantly how to connect it with Power BI, right? So so that is one important thing. So there are different type of file, like there is MySQL, there is PostgreSQL. Okay, so for PostgreSQL, what we do, we use a tool called pgadmin. Pgadmin can connect to your local and server databases. Okay, this is a management tool. Just like MySQL, PostgreSQL is also a database management system where you can create, these type of databases. You can see here we have servers, so you can connect to any server, and then you can, see what is the information. So we will see examples of PostgreSQL as well, like how to create a demo database, how to connect with that database, and how to install. So we have this type of these are all examples of some structured data, right? We have other files also. When we will go to Power BI, you can see we have get data information here. In get data, we have Excel workbook, we have SQL server. Now just like them, there is SQL server also, for which you will need SSMS, which is called SQL Server Management Studio, right? This SQL Server Management Studio is also just a tool like pgadmin, and you can connect to databases. You can see now we can see many databases over here, and here also we have this Northwind database, which is a trading company. So it simply means that we can say that we want to connect with a SQL server. So Power BI will ask you, okay, you want to connect, what is your server name? So you just saw we we just got the detail of the server name here, right? So from here you can copy the server name. When you will go to properties, you will see that this is the server name. We can copy the detail and put it here, right? And then it is asking what database do you want to connect. So we will say the database, let's say you want to connect with a hospital database. Okay, this is for a hospital which we are developing right now, and its name is hospital DB. So we will simply put it here, hospital DB, and now let's click OK and see what happens. So when you will click OK, so this is Power BI, right? In Power BI, we have connected a database that is running on a different server. This server currently is a local server, but it can be an IP address also, right? It can be some IP address, and that IP address or some kind of hosting address. So I will show you how to do that, right? And suppose a company has created a app like this, then that company is doing all the business. For example, we have a very simple website where we sell different type of plants, right? So we have different category of plants, like indoor plants are there, outdoor plants are there, we are selling them. Okay, so when the sales will be made, where will that information will be stored? It will be stored in a database like this. Do you get my point? It will be stored in a database like this, and not in entire database. For example, whenever a order is made, so it will be stored in a particular table which has these columns, like, you know, who gave the order, what are the freight charges, what is the ship name, you know. So if we select top 1000 rows of this data, so you will see who has ordered when, right? So these companies have all this historical information, and then your job will be to connect with these tables. Okay, suppose this is a simple OPD booking system, outdoor patient department. So you will connect all these four tables, and after connecting, it is evaluating the preview, and it will load the data. After loading the data, you can see one user is there, John, one patient is there. Okay, we have some OPD booking. So you will say, okay, now I want to load the data. So what it will do, it will load the data from where? From your database. So this is your database, you have your tables. In your tables, you will have all the information. So that is why it is very important to know what is the difference between a structured data and unstructured data. So most of the data analysis that is done, that for that data analysis, the data that comes is from some database, some data source, right? How will you connect data? You will connect, like you will do interviews, you can collect data. You will ask someone to fill a form for you, right? So as I showed you, uh, you will in that application that we just saw, you can ask someone to fill a form for you. Suppose you are here and you just want to do an query. So this is data analysis course. So what you will do, you will fill your name, etc., right? You send us message. So we will get that information where? Maybe in a CSV file, maybe in a Excel file, maybe in somewhere where we will store that. So that's why Power BI is used. Power BI or any other tool is used, right? It is used to do analysis of what? Sales. You would have listened, right? You have learned that sales analysis, financial analysis like banking system, etc. It can be used for healthcare analysis, right? It can be used for sustainability or ESG related data, environmental, social, and governance data, right? It can be used for risk management. or risk assessment. So I will give you all these examples. Okay? You will find more than 150 such projects on my channel first of all, and obviously 150 we cannot do in course, but obviously I will teach you most of the important stuff and then you can do that. So, and there are many like cricket, football, for IPL, like I have a lot of I have done a lot of analysis on IPL. So for example, here is my local server running. If I simply go to IPL 2008 to 2024 analysis, so you will see we have prepared some dashboards. This is bowler stats dashboard. If I simply go to view full screen and if I select any bowler, obviously this is not the latest data, not of this season, but it is data of from start to 2024. And you can select any bowler, and if that bowler's image is available, you will see it here, right? How many matches they played, balls they bowled, run they conceded, and we also have batting stats. So for MS Dhoni, 229 matches, total number of balls faced, runs scored, how many times dismissed, what was the strike rate. Important thing is, yes, we can see that we have prepared dashboard, etc. But how the data set will be? Data set will be just like something like this, right? The data set, let me show you the data set also. So if you are interested in IPL, just ask me. So then we will have a lot of fun and learning, because IPL can be a great, you know, project to understand the concepts of data analysis. It's not just that we are doing sports analysis, it is of no use, etc. But you know that how much statistics do they show in each and every match, win prediction, which player can score this, that. Here is how the data set will be for IPL. Here we have information of all the balls that were bowled in the match. So here match is between KKR and RCB. Batter is Ganguly and bowler is Praveen Kumar. Non-striker is McCullum and batsman scored 0 run, one extra run. It was leg by. So for all balls that were bowled in IPL, this is the information. And then on the basis of this information, we have prepared something like this, right? So this is something that Power BI can do. It can help you with this type of analysis. So what happens is, now you saw that whether it's a Excel file, CSV file, MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, and there are other n number of data sets available. Okay, so Power BI can connect you with these different type of servers, which you can find here, and it you can see, for example, from here it can be JSON file, it can be SQL Server analysis, Oracle, MySQL, PostgreSQL, right? SAP HANA database, Impala. Then suppose we have developed a website. Okay, so when we have a website, so we receive a lot of traffic on that website. Okay, when you visit our website, so Google Analytics stores a lot of information. Okay, if a company is running Google ads or Meta ads, so that company is also spending money in a lot of things, right? So let me show you. I was just developing that project, that's why. So just a minute. So for example, this com how much amount did the company spend? What is their average click-through rate, visitors they received, page visits, etc. So Power BI also have those type of connectors. Like if you will just select analytics here, so many companies, like I guess almost every company uses Google Analytics. Okay, so because in Google Analytics You get information about how many visitors are visiting your website, what is their average session duration, for how much time did they visit, what query did they post on, what query did they post on Google to get to you, right? So those type of things. So that is also very important, and that is called digital marketing analysis. For that, you must have a basic understanding of digital marketing, like what kind of data should be connected for that, and then connect them. So we have developed more than 100 such websites. You also already saw some of our ERPs and e-commerce website that we are dealing with, right? So for example, this is another website where we have different type of grocery items. Then we have an electrical website. So there are many such websites which are running for more than 10 years now. That's why we have a lot of data. So that's why we have a lot of live data to connect and analyze. Okay. So this is very important for us. So all of this that you are seeing here, we will uh, connect them. So let's circle back in world. Okay, there are events happening. Because of these events there is raw data, but all that raw data is of no use to us. So what we do selection, like what information is important for us, and that's why we build systems to collect that data and collect them in some structured format. Sometimes when companies ask us to do data analysis, to do statistical analysis, so they give us that data also, right? And when they will give us that data, it will be like a Excel, CSV, JSON, some file or some ERP or some system which Power BI can directly connect and fetch data, right? It can be from a JSON API also. I will also show you how to fetch, like today is IPL match, right? Uh, so we can also fetch live information, you know, live information. There are APIs which can help us in fetching live information ball by ball, and we can show a dashboard. That I have that tutorial on my channel, so you can fetch that information. So that's how good Power BI is. Okay. After connecting this, what we do is statistical analysis, right? A statistical analysis where we create different type of visualizations. We visualize data, okay? We summarize data, we answer questions. So those can be done, like, and we can create different type of charts. So in Power BI you can see different type of charts are there: stack bar chart, stack column chart. Like for example, if I want to create a stack column chart, I will select the product name in x-axis. In y-axis I will select something that is numerical, like revenue, and that will create a simple chart for us. I think it is not good, so I can change it into a tree map. Now what is this tree map representing? Then there is this waterfall chart. When to use waterfall chart, right? And how to use it. Then there is this ribbon chart. In ribbon chart, suppose we want to bring something as a legend. Let's say here we don't have too much categorical information, although this will not work, but just showing you example. We have to bring something categorical. What is meaning of this funnel chart, etc. And suppose some chart is not present by default in your Power BI. So how can we get more visuals from the Power BI official website, right? So there are some more visuals also, which I will show you how to import them. Then we can use Power BI intelligence also. Like in Power BI, there is some intelligence features. So for example, if I just you know double click here, actually here we have that. So if I double click there, so it will prepare a Q&A for us, just like a chatbot kind of thing, right? So let me close, and I will ask a question. I will say which product has maximum revenue. I can ask this type of question, right? Which product has maximum revenue, and then you can you can see it is giving a simple answer. Product called Cote de Blair has maximum revenue, right? So how to use these type of features, what is total user ID, it will give you different type of answers, right? So this is called Q&A visual. Then we also have the narrative visual. We can build a simple narrative. Currently we don't have summary. So how to use these type of different features, and most importantly, if you are interested, so in Power BI, one very important thing is there, that we have Python and R scripting. Okay, so we can use this Python. So we can enable Python here, and after enabling Python we can write some script. Okay, so we can create some visuals using Python, for which also I have different visuals. And you know that Python is very good with machine learning and AI. Okay, so that is optional, but we are just explaining different features of Power BI, that we can import different algorithms of Python that will read our data, and after reading our data we can apply we can forecast sales, we can predict something, we can apply logistic regression, linear regression, this type of machine learning, supervised and unsupervised algorithms, different type of classifier. But for that you must have strong knowledge of Python. That is optional, but you can do that as well. So all of this what we are doing here, we will learn, and we will learn how to connect with these simple databases, etc. Now how to get started with all of this? First of all, I will close some of them. To get started, like Power BI also has different kind of tools. Yeah, and one more important thing. In Power BI, when you go to transform data, you will see Power Query Editor. Okay. So here you have your Power Query Editor for you. In Power Query Editor, we can do data transformation, right? In data transformation, we can transpose values, we can reverse values, we can replace values, pivot or unpivot, cross tab, etc. That type of operations we will see how to do. Then you can add conditional columns, duplicate columns, right? You can format them. Let's say, for example, we have a wrong data type here. Here you can see it is showing as float. I'm just giving you an example. It is showing as a uh, decimal number. So we can right click here and we can change type to something else. Like we can show it as a fixed decimal number, whole number, percentage, right? So Power Query, it's not limited to this. Power Query is a great tool. Like from here you can connect to any other data source and build relationship between different uh, projects, right? You can keep rows, remove rows. Sometimes, let's say first name and last name are given. Just giving you an example, basic example. Let's say customer's first name and last name are given. Okay, and you want to create two columns. One is called first name and other is called last name. This is person name, right? So you can simply use a split column here, and you can split them, you know. So, and a lot of other things, like you can merge queries. In merge queries, what you can do, you can take two different tables, three different tables, you can merge them. Okay, when you will merge query, it will ask you what is your first table, what is your second table. So we will do projects where we will connect more than 11 tables in one example. Okay, and after connecting those 11 tables, we will do data analysis on them, we will do data transformation on them, and most important thing, we can write, uh, you know we can go to modeling tab. From here we can create measure. So we will also see and learn how to write DAX queries. Okay, for example, I want to find what is the total budget of our organization. Okay, the, this is a digital marketing campaign, so I will write that my name of my measure is total budget. It's a calculated field, right? This field is not given in the data set, but we will write some query, and to find total budget, what aggregate function will you write? You will write sum, right? Yeah. And after writing sum, this will be your table name, and you will just select your budget column and you will write it like that, and then your total budget will be calculated, and then you will simply create a card, and in that card you will just put your total budget, that this company spent total of 4 millions. Okay, now it may be looking boring, so we will also see how to use format your visual, how to change color of our visual, how to change its size, how to change its font, right? How to change its category labels color. Okay, make it bold, increase its size. To this particular chart that we have, how to go to effects and enable shadow, enable visual border, choose a color. I'm doing it pretty quickly, I'm not teaching you to be honest, but I'm just showing you what we can do. This way we can prepare some KPI measures, right? Let's say then you have your total budget. This is a calculated measure. Now let's say we have audience size. Okay, we have budget. So let's say, what is budget per audience? Just giving you an example. So for that we will also learn how to create a new column, right? So earlier we created a new measure. Here we are trying to create a new column. So let's say budget per audience, right? Something like that, right? So what we can do, we can write budget here. So we have the column, in every row we have budget, and then we have audience, right? So, and audience size. So we have the audience size. So we can call it budget per audience, and we can just use the division operator. So different type of operators that can be used here. Okay, for DAX in particular, like if you will just type DAX Slidescope, that is my institute's name, you will find DAX archive. Okay, here we have more than 30 chapters. Okay, so we will start with basic, like how to write your first DAX query, what is row context and filter context, calculate DAX function. Calculate is a very important function. So like with the help of calculate, let's say we are doing calculate. So when you will write a function, then it will show you what expression, right? So let's say we are calculating something like conversion rate. What is average of conversion rate? Okay,
represent of like
that expression can be something like, you can write your entire query here, something that gives you some kind of aggregate value, right?
yeah, okay.
Like sum, minimum, maximum, variance, standard deviation, or like what is the average conversion rate. And then what is the second argument? Second argument is what is
Filter.
your filter. So if we look at the data set, although this is wrong, if we look at the data set, we have region, right? So let's say we want to see what is average click-through rate or what is average conversion rate of north region or south region or east region, right? So we go to our wrong measure, and as a filter what we will write, that region equal to east, something like that, right? And
If we not mention east, it will show, it will come all direction, right?
yeah, but for filter you have to write something, right? Like
Okay.
you have to write the name of column, and in that column what value. So now here this equal to sign will be used as a comparison operator. If suppose it was a numerical value, suppose we want to select all those sales, or suppose we want to select something where year is 20, year is greater than 2020, so then you will use greater than, or less than, or greater than equal to, or less than equal to, or not equal to, right? So we
Mhm.
will see what acceptable operators are there, what acceptable arithmetic operators are there, what acceptable logical operators are there, what
Mhm.
acceptable, you know, comparison operators are there. Are you getting my point?
Yeah.
So if I write two equal signs, let's see whether it will scold us for that. So let's say we are calling east average CR, something like that. So if we see that, so it is not showing us any error. Okay, so I'll say okay, very good. I will just collapse this. I will make a copy of this, remove this, and east average CR. So average click-through rate or average conversion rate for east region is this. Now let's say we want to do it with the help of some graph. So we can create a column chart here, and in the column chart on x-axis what will we do? We will put region. On y-axis what will we do? We will create write conversion rate, and we will write average. So average for east is 1.04, right? So that means that the expression that we wrote with the help of calculate function is correct. This is a, I think, like, I have used many functions. Calculate, switch, these are like some functions. Filtering is something that when you will learn, you will be able to do a lot of calculations. You must have, if you have some basic knowledge of SQL, right? That's how
Yeah.
you write a SQL query also, right? How will you
Mhm.
write that? You will write select, something like select average CR from something, right? So let's say from table where region is equal to east,
East.
something like that, right? So and then suppose you want to show the region wise performance. So what you will do, comma region, and then you will use group by. So you use group by and then region. When you are using aggregate function and one more column, then you have to use the group by expression.
Yeah.
Beauty of Power BI is it has already done it for you, right? It has already grouped the data and aggregated with average. You can select anything, like you can select what is maximum, what is in, if maximum we are seeing, so in east region one time we may have maximum value, right? And if you will hover, you will see 2, right? You can select standard deviation. It is mostly in case of west, that means variance is more in west region, like, conversion rate variance. In south it is lower, that means almost all the values are very close to each other. We will also understand their meaning. So this is a very simple explanation, yeah. Although we are discussing many random things right now, but
Mhm.
I'm just trying to explain you, this is how we will understand each and every, maybe not each and every DAX function, but each and every important DAX function That is very important, and when you will learn that, so you will be able to understand other DAX also, right? For example, same period last year. This is very, very important. Same period last year is one of the most important things that many people have requested. So I have to see in which part I have done that. I will show you. I actually have a full tutorial for that, but I will show you. Like in same period last year, let's say you have sales of this year and sales of that year, so you want
Oh,
to do that. I think it will be in time intelligence. Anyway, I don't want to waste your time. I will show you. So we have a chapter for time intelligence where we will learn all of this. Okay, so
oh,
our course will come, you know, have all of this. Like we will see all important type of data connectors: text, XML, JSON, Google Analytics, MySQL, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, right?
mhm.
And then after connecting them, if multiple tables are there, then how to create a data model out of them, right? This is data modeling. So you will also learn data modeling in great detail. There are different type of schemas. For example, there is something called a star schema. Okay, so we will also learn how to do that. So these are the things that we will discuss, and I will help you in installing all the tools that are necessary for us to analyze these things. Okay,
Okay.
one more important thing,
Mm,
you will see two type of Power BIs here. Okay, when I will
mhm.
search Power BI, so one is Power BI desktop, and one other is also Power BI desktop, but RS is written here. This is something that we will do later. This is called
Okay.
report server. Okay,
Rewards. Okay.
report server. So in a regular Power BI desktop, unless and until you have a account, right, on
Mm,
Power BI, you cannot publish your reports. In a report server, a Power BI which is optimized for report server, you have option to publish Power BI to your report server.
mhm.
So we will also learn how to set up this, right? How to set up
Yes.
the report server, and that actually you are seeing here. If you saw, you are seeing reports published on our server, right?
Okay.
This is sample Google Analytics portfolio. Like
Mhm.
as I showed you, information getting from a website, right?
Mm,
So although not too much great work is there, but this is just created for students to understand how to publish your report. Now no matter how complex your report is, you can publish it. So like this is how this will be a server, right? So in your organization, like local computers can access it, right, your team members, etc. And we will see different other options, and we will also see how to publish your reports to Power BI service. So there is a tool called, there is a service called Power BI service. Okay, so this is
mhm.
Power BI service. Power BI service, for this you must have some kind of business account. But I will just show you. Obviously, when you will work for a company, so you can see, you can use your organization email. So obviously, this is paid thing. It offers free trial. Okay,
Mhm.
so we will see how to do that. Yeah, so this is how Power BI service interface looks. Okay, when you will log in. So here also you can create reports. You can write, select Excel, CSV. You can paste or manually enter data. Or then they are saying if you don't see the source you are looking, so then download the desktop app. And the desktop app is this app, right? Power BI desktop. Is it okay? So what you have to download in your computer first of all is Power BI desktop. Okay, this one. So you
Yeah.
can go to this particular URL. This is officially from Microsoft, and from
Mm.
here, based on your language selection, you can download. Okay, it's a simple installation. The version that they have two files. You
Uh,
can use this version. I guess you have the 64-bit architecture for you. So in your computer. So confirm that. Otherwise, if you have a old laptop or a PC, then you can go with this version. Otherwise, if you have a recent laptop,
Actually, I already have a Power BI desktop. Actually, it not the latest version. How can I able to update that
yeah, you can
application?
update also. This was a simple introduction. Okay,
Mm.
like what we are going to do, and now since you have said you have your uh, Power BI project, so then from our next class, I will give you a simple data set that we will connect, and we will start learning to build some visuals and explaining you about the data set. The main thing that we will understand tomorrow is what are the different categories of data. Okay, like
Okay.
what is classified as qualitative data, what is classified as quantitative data. For example, a product name is a
Mm.
qualitative thing. All other things are quantitative. Then in
Mm.
qualitative, there are things like nominal values or ordinal values. Okay. In quantitative, there are things like continuous values and discrete values. Okay. So this is what we will start tomorrow, and then we will work on a real time data set or something that represents real time values. So
Mm.
like qualitative data and quantitative data. Okay, because in Power BI, a field that we have created. So first of all, I will remove this because I'm preparing a data set. So delete from model. So for example, if we are building something, for example, campaign budget is an, a continuous thing, right? So even though if you will create it in a line chart, let's say time of year and budget. So sometimes you can go there in your field. You will have options. I will show you where. You will have option to consider it as a, it will ask you whether you want to consider it as a categorical field or not, right? So I will show you those kind of options. So we can interpret data in different formats, different ways. So in qualitative, we will learn what are nominal and ordinal values with examples. I have a data set where I will show you, right? In quantitative, we have continuous and discrete. So I will, first of all, I will teach you on a data set that has all these variables so that you can understand, and then I will do a simple exercise with you. I will show you different data sets, and you will tell me which one is which, right?
Okay.
And later, the Northwind data set that I showed you, so for that Northwind data set, I also have why is not coming Northwind 50. So for that Northwind data set, I also have a 50 questions PDF file. Okay.
Mm.
So you will build all these reports in one Power BI dashboard. Okay.
Okay.
Wherever you will face problems, we will discuss them. Okay. And but like here you will see a lot of things like sorted by category name, top 10 order ID. Here you will see in some examples you need to use multiple tables to answer a query. Okay, so like for this, these are SQL based questions, but what is the harm in solving them on Power Query, right? Power BI.
Okay.
So we will do that. So this will just be a random practice, and for Power BI itself, I will give you a data set, some problem statements, and you will solve them. Okay. So we will continue with all of that tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.